Hey guys, so in this video I want to talk to you about TaskAI. Now I haven't done one of these reviews for a very long time. I wanted to kind of jump back in and look at this particular product because there's a few kind of red flags on this I can see straight away. So this is a product that promises you an AI run Fiverr-like marketplace. So you're going to develop your own website that's basically like Fiverr. Now there are some kind of positives and a lot of negatives around that because things like Fiverr have a massive marketing process around them, so people know what Fiverr is, they know to go and get tasks there, and lots of people post their own tasks on marketplaces like Fiverr because they know that people are actually searching those sites for those tasks, and that's where your traffic comes from. So we're going to come into this a lot. Now what I want to do really is start with kind of the big negative and the red flag on this sales page. Now I usually do this at the end, but a lot of people who watch my reviews that realize I do kind of honest reviews miss this piece. Now, when you look at these types of sales pages, the first thing you'll see is, apart from all of the financial proof, that obviously isn't proof, but you'll see things like these testimonials. Now, these testimonials are supposed to show you that they're verified TaskAI users and they're actually making money with this particular software, right? So they've got all of these like big comments on here and they've got these images. Now, if you just do a very simple Google search on these images, you'll realize these images are completely false. So this lady here, who is Marek Paulik, who's on a website that's completely unconnected to this, which is here, this Polish website, that's obviously completely a false testimonial. Just for the very start of this, I know that they're already lying to me on the sales page before I even go into the software. So let's jump into the actual software itself. Now the actual software is basically a website builder. If you look at the task site here, you have these done for you task sites. Let me just have a look at one of these. There's not one on this, this must be an upsell. Let's just have a look at the managed task sites and go into this one here. There's Kalim marketing one, and basically you are creating a Fiverr type task site. So I'll just come over to Fiverr. This is the look and feel of Fiverr. So you have some search functionality up here. If you just put whatever it is when done, like background removal, you'll see a bunch of these gigs on here that people have put on here. But on these, you've actually got the people's names, you've got explanation of what they do, they've got some good reviews on here, so you can have a little dig around and understand who they are, and also a lot of choice. So if I'm trying to find somebody to do some of these tasks, there's a lot of choice on here for me to do a lot of this stuff. But basically you're creating your own little place where only you can do a lot of these gigs. On the right hand side here you see some categories, and you can just put a load of these gigs in here. We'll do 3D product rendering and animation, and you can put your gig in there. Now if you're any good at any of this stuff, then I would just go and use Fiverr, to be quite honest, because they're going to have all of the traffic, etc., like I mentioned earlier, on Fiverr itself. So you don't have to worry about getting traffic over to these sites, which is when I just jump back to the site, they say that get traffic is this stuff here. So I just push the plus. This is an add to any application. It is on so many different software these days. And basically it's Facebook, Twitter, WhatsApp. It's all of these types of social media sites. But the issue is, if you've got nobody on Facebook that is interested in these tasks, or you haven't got a big following, you're not going to get any traffic over to this site. The problem with these types of sites is the marketing. Who is going to see this site when you built it? How are you going to get your name out there? You're going to use paid traffic to bring them into your task site over and above things like Fiverr. How are you actually going to bring this traffic into your site? It's going to be quite expensive to do paid traffic, and getting organic traffic means you'll have to set up a YouTube channel or a blog or something like that that's constantly pumping out content to get people over to this site. So just bear that in mind if you want to go down this route. If you're any good at these tasks, I would probably say just go onto Fiverr, create gigs on Fiverr, and let their marketing machine and their search functionality help you out. But basically you've got various things you can do on here. There's some AI lead finder on here. Basically you can come in here and just find any kind of leads for different types of businesses. So let's say you want to attract some plumbers for some reason and you want to go New York, and I just want a few records per page. This is going to go and search the web and find those for me. Now none of this is AI. This is basically just skimming the web. I don't really know why this is AI, but you can go on and you can add a broadcast to this. Now what this allows you to do is there is a few leads on here that you can email. So you can just get a load of these leads, and then you email them. And that's the extent of the emails on here. I don't see where they can reply. I don't see any of that kind of stuff. I don't see any automations built in, nothing like that. When you've got free email builders these days like GetResponse, I think these are completely pointless. Plus, when you've got a free email builder, a proper one like GetResponse, you're less likely to go into the spam folder. It's worth just getting on board with those guys because they comply to all the various canned spam laws and GDPR laws that you've got in various parts of the world. You might as well go with the good guys like GetResponse. But up to you guys. This is what you get on here. It's just a basic way you email people. You have a way that you can actually generate content. This is okay. There is a limit of 10,000 words on the front end, so this will run out pretty quickly. Basically, it allows you to do different types of content on here. This is like Jasper and various other things like Copy AI, which again are much better quality than this, but this allows you to actually make some of the different types of content. Remember, any completely AI generated content is unlikely to rank anywhere, so it's quite low quality, so it needs a lot of rewriting. And if I was coming in and I'm paying you to write me an article, I'd want that article to be very high quality, so just remember that needs to be done. And then you have these AI images. Now basically this is connecting off to DALL-E. Now everything on here, by the way, everything on here you can do with using other tools. So just get ChatGPT, or ChatGPT rather, and you can use that. Or you can just come over to DALL-E, which is DALL-E Labs OpenAI, and it's DALL-E, one of their products, and you can use this to actually generate images. Not always great, depends what kind of prompt you put in here, but it does generate images for you. AI employees are various chatbots they've got in here that you can actually send people to chat with them. I don't see why you would do that. I'm a little bit confused at this one. What is the point of this? Right, I'm not sure what I would use this for. Now you can get chatbots these days that you can train with ChatGPT to actually work in your business. They're really good products. I'm going to review one very soon, but this is not one of them, I'm afraid. This is a little bit silly. The transcription, you can actually upload media and it will transcribe it for you. Nice little tool there. Again, for 17 bucks, guys, some of this stuff you can actually just use, but there is some kind of limitations on it, but you can just use it. But remember, there is a 10,000 limit on here. It doesn't actually say anywhere whether that's per month or just completely. There is an audio and a voiceover piece here. You can add your text in here and it'll give you some audio to actually generate. You can get these for free on the web all over the place. And then you can actually generate AI code. Now you can generate AI code in ChatGPT as well. All you need to do is come along and tell it what kind of code you want to generate and it'll generate it for you. But there is some training on here. It's okay, it tells you how to use the functionality, no real issues with that. Now the main thing I see the problems with this type of software is, one, I talked about the sales page. There's clearly not being honest with you on the sales page. But the problem is, if you create a website like this, how are you going to get the traffic over to that website? Who's going to come along and see it? I've created loads of these types of websites years and years ago, where you think you just put a website on the web and people will somehow miraculously come over to it. It doesn't work like that, guys. The only way you get people over to your website is by putting valuable content on there that will actually drive some kind of SEO to that website. Putting videos on things like YouTube with links underneath that people will actually go over to a website, or using things like paid traffic. If you don't actually share the link to that website with other folks, in this case, where there's no content on there that's going to really generate any organic traffic, then nobody's going to see it. So you're going to be wasting your time. If you want to do these types of task-related money-making activities, you're better off going on things like Fiverr or a lot of the other sites that you have on there for freelancers, and basically just putting tasks on those sites and then just fulfilling those tasks for their sites. The reason they're better is because they can generate the traffic for you. People go to Fiverr to find people to do various types of tasks. That's why I think these types of softwares are completely pointless. If you want to go ahead and pay 17 bucks for a little bit of the functionality that's on here that you can get somewhere else, then fair enough. But the reality is you're not going to make a great deal of money off this unless you can generate a lot of traffic over to it and get those orders in. That's from my perspective, guys. That's why I wouldn't recommend any kind of software like this, especially how the very first thing I see when I interrogate the sales page is completely made up testimonials. For those useful to you guys, my name is Richard Darby, this is School of Nomads. If you're interested in building a real affiliate marketing business, go ahead and hit the link in the description below. It's got some completely free training for you there that will get you started straight away. Until next time guys, take care.